The sky of Nythara VII bled violet. Ash fell in slow spirals, glowing faintly, where the iron storms above caught each fleck and lit it like dying fireflies. The ruins of the city rose in crooked silhouettes, opal towers snapped in half. Glassy streets fractured into rivers of blackened shards. In the distance, the great ocean heaved against the shore. Waves glimmering with bioluminescent plankton, each crash a ghostly teal flash in the night. Commander Elias Ward tightened the seal on his helmet and checked the readings on his forearm display. Helios Marine Corps Mission d'atteindre Terrivet l'objectif 6 l'escouade. Report, he said, voice low and clipped. One by one, green checkmarks blinked into life on his HUD. 5 Marines in matte black exosuits spread out behind him, boots hissing as stabilizers adjusted to the uneven ground. Their armor bore the sunburst emblem of the Helios Republic, scratched and scorched from a dozen campaigns. Still can't believe Command sent a ground team for a data core, grumbled Corporal Tanaka, sweeping his rifle across the shattered boulevard. Whole planet's a graveyard. Graveyards are quiet, Elias replied. This place isn't. From the wreckage ahead, something howled along. Warbling cry that didn't sound like any species in the Helios database. Then came the dull roar of repulsor engines overhead. Helios gunships, retreating toward orbit, leaving trails of shimmering displacement in the violet clouds. They're pulling out, whispered Private Imani. Thought we had another hour of cover. Change of plans, Elias said. We get the core, we get out. Stay tight. He led them into the shadow of a collapsed tower, where alien glyphs glowed faintly, along the remaining walls curved, flowing script that pulsed like living veins. This had been a Nythari sanctuary once, before the Empire's bombardment had carved craters through its heart. To Elias, the place felt Watched. The Helios admirals had called this a limited intervention. The Nythari had called it genocide. He pushed that thought aside and focused on the mission. He was good at that, folding doubt into a neat little box and locking it somewhere deep behind duty. But Nythara VII wasn't going to let him keep the box closed for long. They found the stairwell buried behind a half-collapsed mural depicting twin suns over a crystalline sea. Elias ordered micro-drones to scout ahead. Their feeds showed a spiraling descent into the sanctuary's heart, where the Black Vault hub should be. Let's move, he said. Tanaka, rear guard. Imani, on me. They descended carefully, boots scraping on alien stone. The air grew colder, the walls more luminous, rippling with soft turquoise light that pulsed in time with some deep, subterranean rhythm. Getting a read on biosigns, Imani murmured. Weak, but there's something alive down here, sir? Helios. Elias asked. She shook her head. No. Native. They reached the bottom of the stairwell and stepped into a vast underground chamber. It was breathtaking. The ceiling arched high, above them in crystalline ribs, refracting light into shimmering, shifting patterns. At the center of the chamber lay a circular pool of liquid light, its surface swirling with images, fragmented memories of the city above. The stars, the faces of people who were no longer there. Around the pool, dozens of Nythari forms lay sprawled, slender, cerulean skin bardained, mournful glow dead, all but one. Near the edge of the pool, pinned beneath a fallen shard of crystal, an alien woman struggled to breathe. Her skin was a pale, opalescent blue streaked with silver veins, and intricate glyphs glowed faintly along her temples. Translucent fins-like, delicate wings framed the sides of her face, drooping with exhaustion. Her eyes opened as the humans approached, enormous, multi-layered irises shifting like nebulae, full of pain and defiance. She tried to push herself up, but the crystal held her fast. When she spoke, the sound echoed not in their ears, but in their minds, a trembling, musical thought. You come back? At all. You are different sons, not the ones who burned us. Imani flinched. She's in my head, Psionic, Elias said quietly. Apoched, rifle lowered and switched his helmet speaker's channel. We're not the ones who bombed your city, Sir, Tanaka said sharply. We have orders. Blackval down was clear no deviation. Native survivors are non-essential. The words tasted like rust in Elias's mouth. He looked down at the Nythara woman. She met his gaze, her mental voice quieter now. They took our songs, our memory sea. The metal suns above. They said we were in the way. Please, help me, or at least, do not leave me alone in the dark. On his HUD, a priority message popped up, tagging Commande Ward. Fleet intel confirms Nythara psionics are classified biohazards. Do not engage. Retrieve the Black Vault and exfiltrate immediately. Any delay will compromise orbital withdrawal. Collateral is acceptable. Collateral. The woman coughed, pale, blood-flecked with shimmering motes. The pool of living light beside her flickered weakly. Sir, Tanaka insisted. We can't waste time. She's native, Command said. Command's not standing here. Elias cut in, voice quiet, but hard. I am. He knelt beside the alien woman, braced his armored hands against the crystal slab, and heaved. Cervus Wined burned. The crystal shifted, then toppled aside with a heavy crash. Imani swore. You're going to get us court-martialed. Probably, Elias said. Help me stabilize her. The Nythara woman gasped as the weight lifted. Her hand 3 long, delicate fingers tipped with faintly glowing nails grasped Elias's wrist. A rush of impressions cascaded through him, the taste of saltwater wind, songs carried through shared minds. Children dancing on luminous shores, the sudden agony of orbital fire. He staggered, breath caught. Why? She whispered in his mind. Why risk your sons for me? Because, Elias said, throat tight, everyone else decided you don't matter. And they're wrong. He tapped his new objective. We're getting her out, along with the data core. Anyone who has a problem with that can file a complaint with my ghost. After a beat, Tanaka huffed. Copy that, sir. Guess we're doing this the stupid, heroic way. The Black Vault interface emerged from the center of the luminous pool, triggered by their presence, an obsidian pillar. Covered in shifting alien symbols interspersed with Helios encryption sigils. Someone had already started integrating Nythara tech into Helios systems. That's disturbing, Imani muttered. Elias slaved his suit's interface to the vault. I'll start the transfer. Tanaka, guard the entrance. Imani, see what you can do for her. He nodded toward the Nythara woman. Imani hesitated. I'm a combat medic, not a xenophysician. Good thing she seems to come with a user manual, Elias said. The alien woman looked at him, a flicker of amusement crossing her eyes. My name is Syrali of the Tidal Chorus. Her voice brushed through their minds. I can guide you. Your tools are crude, but your heart beats loudly. It may be enough. Was that an insult? Elias Kev. A little, Imani said, already moving to unpack her medkit. The transfer timer appeared on his HUD, 8 o'clock minutes until data complete. On the 8th step of the stairwell above, a motion sensor pinged. Tanaka swore. Contacts. Multiple fast movers. Not Helios. Shapes crawled into view along the shattered stairwell lithe. 4-limbed predators with bone-white carapaces, eyes like burning coals. Ash hunters, the apex scavengers that had moved into the ruins since the bombardment. The first one opened its jaws and screamed, the sound splitting the air. Hold them off, Elias snapped. Tanaka's rifle spat kinetic rounds, tearing through chitin and bone. The ash hunter tumbled back, but 3 more leapt over its corpse, claws scrabbling for purchase. Syrali flinched, her markings flaring bright. They are drawn to fear and dying songs. There is much of both here. Can you do anything? Elias asked, keeping one eye on the Waltz progress bar as it ticked down. 6h30. My chorus is broken, Syrali whispered. But I still have a voice. Her fingers tightened around his wrist. Cold fire spray his chest. Entwined. For a heartbeat, he was standing not in a ruined chamber, but on a shoreline under twin suns, surrounded by thousands of Nythari, whose minds were woven together in luminous threads. Sing with me, she said, and pulled. Reality snapped back. But now Elias felt an undercurrent beneath the Ash Hunter's screams, like static in the air. A second later, the creatures faltered, their movements jerky, unfocused. Amani's eyes widened. You telepathically jammed them. I reminded them of the deep-sea titans that feed on them. Syrali replied, faintly smug. Fear against fear. Crude, but effective. The Ash Hunters recoiled, snarling, torn between predator instinct and implanted terror. Tanaka took the opportunity to cut them down one by one, the chamber erupting in gunfire and screeches. Elias felt Syrali's weight sagging against him, her glow dimming, costly. She murmured, I used more than I should have. He steadied her, heart pounding. You did great. Her gaze met his, eyes softening. Forahun, Eulaiti. Strange tlet. In a good way, Mani snorted. Is that Nythari for your kind of cute? Syrali tilted her head. Your healer speaks much, but her mind is honest. Yeah, Elias said. We're known for that. Above, more screeches echoed. The Ash Hunters weren't done yet. The transfer ticked to 0 o'clock. The waltz sealed with a low hum, ejecting a crystalline data shard into Elias's waiting hand. Data secured, he said. We move. Now, he slid one arm under Syrali's knees, the other around her back, lifting her in a bridal carry. She weighed almost nothing like warm glass and light. She blinked, surprised. Is this a human courtship posture? Imani burst out laughing. Oh, this is going to be good. Elias flushed. It essay, we Dante, have a stretcher and I refuse to leave you here posture. Acceptable, Syrali said, resting her head against his shoulder. I will not struggle. Didn't think you would, he murmured, and led his squad back up toward the ash rain and the waiting war above. The surface was worse. The city burned under low-flying Helios gunships and Imperial destroyers, belonging to the Aurelian Ascendancy, the rival empire that had first attacked. Nythara, triggering Helios's intervention. Now they're golden-white cruisers and Helios is dark. Angular frigates danced in a deadly orbit, ballet overhead, trading beams of plasma that carved scars into the clouds. Elias's squad sprinted through streets half filled with molten glass. Syrali held tight in his arms. Spot drones buzzed overhead, projecting real-time tactical feeds onto his HUD. The Helios evac shuttle that had been assigned to them appeared as a blinking blue icon to kilometers away. Sir, Tanaka panted, we've got a Ascendancy gun drone sweeping the district. They're not picky about targets. Path of least fire. Then Elias said, take 3rd Avenue, cut through the transit hub. Syrali stirred weakly. The transit hub, that is where they first came. Where they took the children, there are many ghosts there. I'm sorry, Elias said quietly. We'll go around? No, her mental voice sharpened. Ghosts don't know, it is fastest please are they not? Egrima said. Yeah, they are. She reached up, fingers brushing his helmet, sending a shiver through the neural interface. Then we do not waste time for my grief. They ran. The transit hub loomed ahead, a vast circular plaza ringed by broken archways, whose shimmering portals were long dead. Luminous graffiti in Nythari, glyphs marked the walls, prayers, warnings, desperate pleas. As they crossed the plaza, Ascendancy gun drones dropped from the clouds. Sleek. Golden spheres bristling with energy cannons. Contact! Imani shouted! Bolts of white-hot plasma chewed into the ground around them. Tanaka dove behind a shattered statue, returning fire. Imani hurled a grav grenade that detonated in silent brilliance, crushing one of the drones into a twisted mass of metal. Elias set Syrali down behind the remnants of a fountain. "Stay low." She caught his hand. The contact sent a jolt of warmth through him, like sunlight after winter. "You fight for those who are not your blood," she said. "You run into fire for a stranger. In our songs, that is how bondmates are chosen." He blinked, caught off guard even as he drew his sidearm. "Bit fast, isn't it?" "Eman Ajed." "When your world burns," she replied, "gaze steady. You learn quickly who is worth your last breath." Plasma hammered their cover, chips of stone stinging his armor. Elias popped up, shot a drone out of the air, and ducked back. "We're pinned," Tanaka called. "They're calling in coordinates to something bigger." "I can feel it." Syrali closed her eyes, markings flaring. "Let me see through you." Before he could ask what she meant, her mind flowed into his like water into a cracked vessel. His vision doubled one layer, showing the plaza, the drones, his squad. The other, a shimmering overlay of emotional fields, currents of fear, aggression, calculation. There, she whispered in his thoughts. "Dekamitonji." "Focused." A larger drone hovered above the others, its presence a cold spike in the emotional map. Elias targeted it, exhaled, and fired 3 shots in rapid succession. The drone exploded, showering the plaza in burning fragments. The remaining drones faltered. Without the command node's coordination, they drifted just a fraction slower, just a little less precise. Enough. Helios Marines did the rest swift, brutal, efficient. In less than a minute, the plaza fell silent except for the crackle of fires and the distant rumble of orbital bombardment. Elias felt Syrali's presence retreat slightly from his mind, leaving a strange hollowness behind. "I am sorry," she murmured. "I touched too deeply. It is easy with you. Your mind has strong walls but open doors." He holstered his pistol and offered her a hand. "We'll figure out boundaries later. Right now, we need to get off this rock." Her lips soft and faintly luminous curved in a small, weary smile. "Later," she echoed. "That is a word I would like to believe in again." They reached the evac shuttle with 30 seconds to spare. The sleek, gunmetal grey craft sat in a cratered courtyard, engines whining as it prepared to lift. The pilot swore when he saw Elias's squad barreling toward him with an alien in tow. "You cannot be serious," the pilot said over the external speakers. Command said no natives. "Good news," Elias shouted back, hauling Syrali up the ramp. "I've never been good at listening. Once aboard, the hatch sealed with a hiss." The shuttle surged upward, pressing them into their seats. Out the narrow viewport, Nythara VII receded, its violet clouds lit by the burning lines of orbital bombardment. Syrali watched, silent as her world burned. Elias unsealed his helmet and set it aside. For a moment, he just sat there, listening to the hum of the engines and the soft, ragged sound of Syrali's breathing. Imani moved to check her vitals, scanners chirping quietly. "Her biochemistry is wild, but she's stabilizing." "Whatever she's doing with your mind link, it's helping her regulate. Is that safe for him?" "Tanakask!" Syrali's eyes shifted toward Elias, faintly amused. "He is very sturdy," she said, "like a deep-sea anchor." "I think he will endure." "See?" Elias said. "I'm sturdy." "Sturdy is not the same as smart," Tanaka replied. Syrali's gaze softened. "You joke to hide your fear," she told Elias privately, her words a warm brush against his thoughts. "We did that too, before the suns fell." He didn't answer for a long moment. Then, "Yeah, otherwise it gets too real." "Aloud," he said, "we need to know what's on this data shard." Imani frowned. You're planning to break admiralty seals? Have you considered maybe we've committed enough treason for one day? We haven't even started, Elias said. He slid the crystalline shard into his suit's encrypted reader. The projectifligioc maps, the classified reports, s'il d'ordre, one file clags. He opened it. The shuttle's hum faded into the background as he read. Operation Tidal Leash, joint Black Ops initiative between Helios Admiralty and Aurelian Ascendancy Strategic Council. Objective: neutralize Nythara psionic civilization and appropriate their memory C technology. Coordinated, false flag attacks to be staged to justify intervention by both parties. Collateral casualties: estimated 92.7% planetary population. Elias's hands clenched. Sir? Amani asked, voice small. What is it? He pushed the document feed to their HUDs. Amani's face went pale. Tanaka swore in 3 different languages. Syrali stared at the floating text with wide, horrified eyes. You did this together, she whispered. Both sons, yours and the golden ones. You burned us for technology. Elias felt something inside him crack. We were told the Ascendancy was wiping out a psionic threat, he said, voice rough. That we were saving whoever we could. Turns out we were. Finishing the job. Syrali's glow dimmed, shadows gathering in her gaze. And yet you saved me, she said. Why, if your leaders are monsters, are you not their teeth? He met her eyes, jaw tight. Helios isn't a person, he said. It's a machine built out of fear, greed, and people who forgot how to say no. A man whose job is to pull a trigger. He looked at the burning world below. I'm done pulling it for them, Amani nodded slowly. If this gets out, the whole war changes. Every alliance, every treaty, Tanaka finished for her. They'll bury it. And us with it. Syrali's markings brightened to a slow, steady pulse. Not if the songs are loud enough, she said. Your people do not share minds like we did, but you share stories. I have touched your networks. Your feeds. Outrage is a kind of song. Yes. He felt a faint ripple in his implant Syrali carefully, brushing against the edges of his neural interface. Respectful now, cautious. We can show them the truth, she continued. Your courage, our loss, their crime. Elias exhaled. If we try, we'll be hunted by both empires. Her gaze did not waver. Then we run together. Imani rolled her eyes. You know, for someone whose planet just got fried, she's weirdly optimistic. It is either hope or oblivion, Syrali said. Hope is more interesting. Elias smiled, despite himself. Interesting one word says softly. Beautiful is another. Syrali's cheeks flushed. Her booming selling sworden seen before. Your compliments are clumsy, she said, but they make my heart sing. Tanaka groaned. Great. We're starting an interstellar war and a cross-species romance in the same day. Fantastic. Elias didn't argue. Because for the first time since the war began, both felt like the right kind of trouble